good afternoon. It is a Thursday today, a little bit later recording this as I normally do. Just a second. Doesn't taste as refreshing as it normally does. Oh well. Very nice it is too. So, what's happened this week? Oh, welcome to Bob Unscripted. Yes, I have no script, apart from the script up there that I'm reading at the moment. Yes, I know, yes. No script. We're just going to talk at the camera and I'll make a complete pig's ear of it, as I normally do. So, yes, I'm sliding down the chair already. So, good afternoon. Got some footage of the cat. Everyone's saying, where's this cat? So, here's some footage of the cat. There you go. There you go. That was some footage of the cat licking its... Yeah. No, we'll just leave that. So, good afternoon. It's not raining, although it has been. Got the roof fixed on my community centre. I had... the community centre is 10 years old. No, 12. And it leaked. It leaked like a sieve. It was when it was raining and it was windy, the rain was coming through so much. I had buckets everywhere to try and stop the rain coming in. Anyway, so what do we do? Well, we've got scaffolding up outside. Sorry, it's my dog. We've got scaffolding up outside because the place is being repainted. £2,000 in paint later. Yes, it's going to cost us 10 grand. I thought it was going to cost about 8, but no, 10. 10 is the figure. So while the scaffolding was up, we got one of the builders to go up on the roof. And he said, I know what your problem is. And when you've got, instead of putting the roof like this, so you've got one aluminium sheet over another aluminium sheet, it was like this. So when it got hot, it went like that. And when it got cold, it was like this, right? Or was it the other way around? Cold, expanding and contracting, yes. So when it got cold, it went like this. It's cold. So this gap had got more and more and more. So as the years gone by, this gap had got wider and wider. And the rain got in. And when it's windy, the rain skims across the top and then like a waterfall on the inside. Sorry, my ears. And that was it. So every time you look up, there was just rain coming on the inside. So we got it fixed there. There's 2 of them there, and there's one on the main hall. And we got that fixed as well. So yay, 50 quid it's cost us to have the whole thing fixed, which is really good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Including, yes, whatever, it was 50 quid for about an hour's work, so I can't grumble with that. The bloke resealed it, put some gunk on it, what do they call it? Mastic, the old silicon sealant, and put that on there, and that was fine, so yeah, we're good. So everything is tippy top. So yeah, got no issues. The place is being repainted, as I said, so it's got to be this German paint. Now, the designers of this wonderful hall decided to use wood wherever they could. So the outside is just covered in wood. So instead of brick, so we've got breeze blocks, as you would do. So we've got breeze blocks, and then the cat's got the zoomies, and then they covered it with wood, which is very nice. So they covered it with wood, but wood dries out. So you've got to buy this special German paint, which soaks. You can't use creosote anymore. Creosote it. Oh, you can't use that. It's bad for the environment. So you've got to buy this special German stuff, and it costs 70 quid for 2.5 litres. And last time it was painted, we used 10 cans. We've already used 13, and we've only done the front. And it is costing us a fortune. The cat's got the zoomies. You have no idea. This thing will just suddenly, and then run off and run back again. It runs in here, attacks the carpet. Oh, it's just normally it's something like a fly or a spider or something. Have you seen Garfield when he does the spiders? That's what you'll know what I mean. Anyway, so that's all fixed now until the cat comes down. That's all fixed. Place is being repainted. We're quids in. Yes, it's going to take us about a month to repaint it because there's a lot of it. Never mind. Oh, the hassles that I've got to go through. So everything went wrong yesterday. I kid you not. It was like Wednesday was one of those days where I had so much to do and didn't achieve anything. It was just, I don't know. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, went into the radio studio, put the desk on, and the desk powered up, powered down, powered up, powered down. Now normally that's a capacitor on the input side of a switch mode power supply. So went across to the studio with all of my electronics gear. I've got an ESR meter and oscilloscopes and stuff, you know, the voltmeter and all toolkit. So there I was, getting myself ready to, the cat's coming back in, getting myself ready. So I took the desk to bits, cleaned everything out, but everything's in a cage and I didn't have the tools to take the cage off. So I thought, oh. Powered it all up and it worked fine. So I was like, oh, okay. Everything's all right. Everything's all right. Sorry. She knows that I'm talking to the camera, so she's going to play up. So I took the desk apart and cleaned it all out. Took the power board out, checked all the voltages. Voltages were fine. So I thought, well, there's nothing going to happen. It's got to be, there's a big 400 volt capacitor on the input side of the switch mode power supply. And I thought, well, I'll change that, but I've got to get a few more tools. Yeah, so I'll do that next time. So put it all back together. Everything was working. Everything was peachy. It was lovely. All the sliders were, oh, beautiful. So last night, Tim was on the studio at 6 o'clock. And I went over there at 7:45 just to clean the centre and do other bits and pieces and make sure Anthony and Tim were handing over. And I said to Tim, you're not going out. It was on air, but there was no sound going out. I said, oh no, I've done something with the desk. It was me. I must have done something when I was putting the desk back together. So I panicked and came back over and got my laptop and all my tools again and went back over to the studio, set everything up. So by this time, Tim had gone and Anthony was sitting there going, well, I'm supposed to be on now. So I checked everything, checked the desk, put another laptop on, it was broadcasting. Did this, that was working. Did that, that was working. Checked the cables, it was working. And checked the computer, it was working. And put the new version of the software on, that was working. So I was like, well, something's gone wrong. A certain person had hit the mute button inside the broadcasting application. In his effort to put the VU meters up, he put the VU meters up and then hit mute. It took ages of fault finding, but we got it in the end. So Anthony started 3/4 an hour late. So there, I got back last night and I was tired and I was hungry. Bowl of cornflakes later. Yeah, bowl of cornflakes. If you're ever hungry, bowl of cornflakes. What is it? So I'm being now hassled by my cat, who's going to get a very large stick put up its bottom and pretend it's a drain plug or something. Never mind. Lens cap. She's going to kick the lens cap off. No, go away. So yesterday I got into bed and I was tired, so I got into bed quite early and I snuggled up to She Who Must Be Obeyed. And I just thought, well, all these things have gone wrong today. What about all the things that have gone right? And I came up with everything that had gone wrong, I'd put right. So I felt, yay, I've done everything right. So I managed to turn all the things that went wrong into everything that went right. And I'm happy now. Yeah, and I wanted to do one of these yesterday and I never got the chance. So I was watching some guy's video and it was cut after cut after cut after cut. And this is when where everything is scripting and they're reading the teleprompter and they get it wrong and then they have to cut and do it again. And so all of a sudden you'll see a head over here and then a head over there, and it's like, nah, sod it, just keep going. That's one of the things you do on the radio. Never go back. Never say sorry. Never go back. Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to play April Lavigne. Oh, for all those who didn't hear the F word in there, there wasn't one. Because if you say something, if you go back to it, everyone. So okay. So on the radio, you're playing a track, and there's something happens, and you. When I say leave the, let's say you leave the mic on, which is the biggest thing that some of our presenters do. They leave the mic on, and then of course, all of a sudden, they'll go, oh, bollocks. Did you see that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. And then they'll go, oh, the mic's on. Now, if you just leave it, 99 times out of 100, no one will have heard it because it's on in the background. You know, unless you've got a quiz or something, you know, it's on in the background and people go, So if you make a mistake, just carry on. And what is it? I'm being stared at by the cat here. I don't know if you can, I'm not going to twist everything around, but there's a cat just there. Aren't you? Anyway, so that's what we did. So you just got to carry on. So going back, you don't go back. So Anthony got on there last night and just started the show off like he'd normally do and just carried on. And it was wonderful. I got really professional guys, ladies and guys. They're a top bunch. It's getting expensive to run a radio station. I've got to be honest. The radio station is probably about $6,000 a year. And we require, we have a lot of donations to keep the place going, and everyone else chips in, so that's nice as well. So anyway, yeah, if you ever think about running a radio station, don't. It's really, and then you have to fight with all the other radio stations. No, this is our place. We're going to do that. That's better. Maybe it was my tea. So Bob, totally unscripted. So that's what we do. Okay. Bobus unscriptus. I actually quite like this. You know, I actually just like chatting to camera, and you know, maybe we'll get a like one day. Huh. I don't go around, oh, you've got to like and subscribe now. Bollocks to all that. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You know what its score is. So everything is good in my. I'm loving this new camera. I've got this red Komodo, and it is absolutely wonderful. Rang up Red this week and said, I need a bit of help. This isn't working. Am I going in and out of focus? I am, aren't I? I'm just going to turn autofocus off. Sorry about this. I have no idea why. AF stop. I've no. It's doing it again. Oh. Thank you. Bloody thing. So it's got autofocus, and I've set it all up, and it's all of a sudden I'm looking at it and going, is that going in and out of focus? Bloody thing. Never mind. It's all right now. So where were we? I don't know. I haven't got a script. Just watching the cat licking its. The dog's happy. It's got a big lump on top of her head, so I'm going to have to get the vet to suck it all out. She's got a cyst which just fills up with liquid, and it's like a balloon. Poor little thing. Poor little Luna. Yeah, we had to go off down to the beach today. It's a nice thing. 2 miles away, there's the beach. In fact, I can see it. But, so we wandered down to the beach, and she had a little play along the beach and played with some other dogs. But it's a sad because she's nearly 13, and she's lost her mojo, shall we say. So she'll walk along. She wants to play, but then it doesn't do it anymore. Just wants to sleep. I don't know how long I've got left, but we're going to treat each day as a gift. So, yeah, so she's 12 and just over 12 and a half. So she's coming up to 13. Big lurchers, 13 and a half, 14. So year and a half. Every day. I shall let you know as soon as anything happens. But one of the things that came up on the news today was Dave Myers has passed away. So if you're watching this, you would have already found out. Dave Myers was one of the hairy bikers, or berry hikers. And he and his friend Si used to go off and do cooking shows across the UK and around the world, and they always used to be on bikes. A couple of years ago, they did Route 66. They started off in Chicago and went all the way through Route 66. I think it was Chicago. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. And they did Route 66, and they went all the way down to, well, the end, basically. And it was fantastic. They were driving these huge Harleys, and they're going through this desert, and it is, it's like 120, and the wind's coming. He said it was just like being sandblasted with the hot gravel. One of my friends went out and did the blues cruise, a blues trail where you get in a bus and you do the blues thing and you go all the way down. Anyway, they enjoyed that. But again, she was in an air-conditioned bus. Some of the others went in a car. Nah, I just think I'll sit in a bus and get pissed. Get somewhere, have something to eat, get pissed, get back in the bus, and carry on. The Americans have got this weird thing about alcohol. You have 2 beers a day, you're an alcoholic and you need to get help. Oh, he's having beers a day. Yeah. Mind you, the other thing is, John Lee Hooker said I was drinking 2 quarts a day. Now that's a lot of bourbon. 2 quarts is 4 pints. 4 pints of bourbon a day. Yeah. So I'm just watching my cat. She's watching me and I'm watching her. I bought some flowers last week and they're still here, but the cat likes to jump into the flowers and rub herself all over. Don't buy lilies and have a white cat. I think I told you in a previous video the fact that she's covered in yellow stuff from the flowers. Anyway, we're fine now. What else can I tell you about? Not a lot really. I don't want to give you any flying stories today. You know, no flying stories. Although I would say, if you're going to go out, if you ever get the chance to go flying, go learn. I did it because I was scared stiff of flying, and I used to sit in the back of helicopters with crazy ass pilots. That was no problems, but getting in a bloody steel tube and being, you get in one end and come out the other, no, that wasn't good for me. So I went to learn to fly. I went and learned to fly and never looked back. It's wonderful stuff. So if you ever get a chance, go and learn to fly. It is brilliant. I did my instrument rating, as I told you I've told you a few times. In fact, somebody was on the Facebook, dj.bob.blues on Facebook, say hello. And they were talking about if the examiner ever has to grab the yoke while you're doing one of your tests, you failed. Except when you're doing an instrument test, you can't see anything. So you've got this massive hood on. So let me just so you're flying around. So if you imagine, you've got that. So to look out the window, you've got to look up so it really shows that you're looking up. So you take off, you put this hood on and you can't see anything apart from your instruments. So I'm telling you a flying story. Anyway, so there we go. We were flying along up through Florida and we were doing the test, doing this and doing holds and doing all the stuff that I have to do on a test. And he says, I've got control, and yanked the control off me and put the plane this like up, down. I said, oh, that's it then, I failed. And he said, oh no. What you couldn't see was there was a flock of large birds coming straight towards us. And he says, it gives me a chance. And he says, by the way, recover from this. And we're sort of heading upwards toward the sun, almost on our side. And one of the things you have to do is recovery from unusual attitudes. And that was a bloody unusual attitude. It's like, okay, stop the power in. Get it up. Yeah. Anyway, he did it and I passed. So, yeah. So not the worst time if an examiner grabs the stick. It means they've got other things to do. So that's what they're doing. They're acting as safety pilots. So you can't see. He saw this huge flock of whatever coming towards us and yanked the thing out of my hand. And I just thought, well, that was it. I failed. Anyway, I didn't. I passed. So I have a full instrument rating, which is brilliant. I haven't used it for a long time, though. Here's my tea. I think the cat's been slurping me tea. Oh, there's something else I've got to tell you. I don't know if I told you last week. I finished my book. I'm not quite sure if I told you last week, but this is X3R Faith. Absolutely brilliant book by Zach Russ. That's him on the back. I don't know if you can see that, but ex-army. So I used to serve with that in Germany, and we've had him on the radio and we've talked about it, and we're going to give away a free audio book. So if you catch this and within the next week, so middle of March I expect. So if you get this before the middle of March, go to sidvalleyradio.co.uk and check out for the audio book link. All you need to do is mail in and say why you want it. There's no quiz, it's just a mail in and I'll pick one out of the hat and stuff like that. So that's it for today. I think I've been going long enough. Totally unscripted. You know, it's when I sit down, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And then all of a sudden it's like 20 minutes later. Well, that's the same thing, isn't it? It's the same no matter what you do in life. You know, it's just one long edit. That's our life, isn't it? Just one long, you know, I've just thought about that. Our life is just one long edit. We start with a plop and end with a, and that's it, all done. Mind you, have some fun during the way. Oh yeah, mustn't talk about that. Until next time, bye bye. Where's me tea? Oh, wonderful. Bye-bye.